addition to beauty of face and figure, there is a lady here who also has sweetness and warmth. Marianne.
I'm Dawn Wells. Marianne from Gilligan's Island.
Marianne, Marianne, Marianne.
MeTV asked me to pick some of my very favorite episodes.
Here's the Marianne.
Join me for my island memories.
Here on Gilligan's Island.
It's Marianne's 3-hour tour.
Tonight, starting at 7, 6 Central on MeTV. Presented by Consumer Cellular. You're watching memorable entertainment television, MeTV.
I'm Dawn Wells. Marianne from Gilligan's Island.
Coming up next, it's Marianne's 3-hour tour.
Marianne, Marianne, Marianne.
Dawn Wells shares her memories of her days on Gilligan's Island.
Here's the Marianne.
And she presents some of her all-time favorite episodes. First up, it's The Postman Cometh.
Marianne needs a dream man. Someone very exciting to just come along and sweep her off her feet.
Oh, yeah, that was Herbert Higginbotham.
Horace Higginbotham?
Horace Herman, whatever his name was.
That's Marianne's boyfriend.
Yeah, that was kind of featured me. You always got a chance to have an episode that was yours.
Oh,
Doctor, I'm still alive.
please, when I make a diagnosis, it's final.
And now The Postman Cometh on Marianne's 3-hour tour.
Marianne's 3-hour tour on MeTV is presented by...
The cast was really interesting. Bob Denver Gilligan was very different than you would think. Not a Gilligan at all. Very, very smart. Very much an intellectual.
The symbol for aluminum is Al. Its atomic number is 13. Its atomic weight is 26.97.
Always had kids everywhere. As a matter of fact, Bob's son, Patrick, in the Jack and the Beanstalk, he played Gilligan, and the skipper played the giant. And we all got along. There was no prima donna. You know, I guess Bob could have been, wasn't. Never said, I'm not going to do that. Alan was just as kind and as nice, and Natalie has had much experience. Tina had been on Broadway. Jim, of course, had done series and stand-up and all of that. So it was really, I was sort of the non-entity. Maybe I'd worked a lot, but you didn't know who I was.
Marianne's 3-hour tour will continue. And stay tuned for more Gilligan's Island memories from Dawn Wells right here on MeTV.
He could pick Ginger up in one arm and me up in the other.
I'm going with you.
He'd pick me up and hug me, and I'd be off the floor. And you know, people really thought that he had died because his father had died. They looked so much alike. But he grew up with a household as a little boy with Errol Flynn in the house and all those swashbucklers that his father was doing. Kind, wonderful, jovial, never saw him angry. He's a great guy.
Marianne's 3-hour tour will continue. And stay tuned for more Gilligan's Island memories from Dawn Wells right here on MeTV. Everyone is...
Up till 5.
You are.
Watching
Me.
TV. Memorable.
Entertainment.
Television?
It's me.
Coming up next on MeTV, Feed the Kitty.
You saw a lion?
The lion was really scary because it's a wild animal. And Mrs. Al Natalie did not want to be even on the soundstage with it.
Hurry before I break out in hives.
And we were on a rock once, Ginger and I, and the lion was supposed to be behind us. And they said, that's the most danger. Don't put your back to the lion. But the lion slept all day long. All he had around his neck was a rope, just like a choke chain, but it was a rope. Bob and I wanted to pet the lion. And the trainer, who has claw marks all over him, said, just pet him, don't pet him, because he'll take your hand off otherwise. So now it's the last shot on Friday night, about 7 o'clock, and the lion's been pacing since about 5. And the very final shot was the hut with the twin beds. The lion was on a bed. Bob was supposed to come in, see the lion, and run out. So it's now 7 o'clock, 7:30. And he came in, and as he came in, the lion jumped for him. And Bob was only a foot from the door and 6 feet from the lion. And the prop man had forgotten to tie the two twin beds together. And when the lion jumped, the beds separated and the lion lost his balance. And the most interesting thing was Bob was... He was going to do a karate chop to the lion. He wasn't afraid at all, but they got him. I mean, had they not had the rope there at that moment, he'd gotten Bob, no question. And now MeTV presents Gilligan's Island, Feed the Kitty.
Mary Ann's 3-hour tour on MeTV is presented by
Awful lot of makeup tips and camera angles and stuff from her.
Terrible. Let me entertain you. Let me make you smile.
She knew what the camera did, and I was in awe of that. I was pretty new.
Boop, boop, ba-doo.
Mary Ann's 3-hour tour now continues. And stay tuned for more Gilligan's Island memories from Don Wells right here on MeTV.
Give him away. Away? How far can...
We loved them. We loved the dream sequences because we got to be other characters.
I don't smell any fee-fi-fo or fum. Agent 10, calling headquarters.
Have you looked out the window lately?
It's just me, sweet little warm-hearted girl of the Golden West.
Great day to be alive. For some of us, that is.
I got to play a little old hag.
Maybe you can help prevent a terrible crime.
My favorite one was the Eliza Doolittle character that I played with a Cockney accent.
I'm just a poor Cockney flower girl, that's what I am.
We liked to do that. That was kind of fun.
Where am I? You're having a dream.
Mary Ann's 3-hour tour will continue. And stay tuned for more Gilligan's Island memories from Don Wells right here on MeTV. Lucy has big plans for me.
I could sing.
I Love Lucy, weekday mornings on MeTV.
How would you like...
And now, for your pleasure, we present the great, the magnificent, the super stupendous, Thurston Howell III.
Jim was hysterical. Very insecure. Very insecure. I think somebody who's really a top comedian kind of is. He was very witty, very funny, and would always teach Natalie how to ad-lib and do things.
Oh, they're playing our song.
He would ad-lib going in and out of the, unless they're coming out of the hut. And instead of waiting until he got on his mark, he would just ad-lib all the way out. Natalie said, he's upstaging me all the time. He's upstaging me. Well, then you need to ad-lib, Natalie. Well, then they started ad-libbing. We never got to the script. So they had to cool that down a little bit.
Let's give it the Howell touch.
Oh, yes, by all means, let's.
We did a couple of specials at the end, and Jim came in and did a couple of lines only. And then he came up to me and he took a hold of my hand. He said, was I funny? And it just broke your heart because he knew what was funny,
Mr. Howell, you're not a mean, rotten, scary guy. You're a real nice guy.
Well, that's one flaw in an otherwise sterling character.
Mary Ann's 3-hour tour will continue. And stay tuned for more Gilligan's Island memories from Don Wells right here on MeTV. Everyone.
Memorable.
Entertainment.
Television.
I can't tell you how glad I am you found it.
Coming up next on MeTV, The Friendly Physician.
That's for taking us off the island.
Scotty did that character.
Ginger, set us free.
Oh, the voices.
I am Mary Ann.
Russell just went out of his mind. He said, I can't do your voice. You talk so fast. I can't get all those words out at the same time. He really had a hard time.
Ooh, someone's coming.
I could do a 30-minute series in 10 minutes. I talk so fast.
What are we gonna do, Professor?
If I can get into that laboratory, I know I can work the control panel.
And now, MeTV presents Gilligan's Island, The Friendly Physician.
Mary Ann's 3-hour tour on MeTV.
Mrs. Thurston Howell III.
Oh, bravo, bravo.
Natalie Schaefer. She was Mrs. Howell. She was.
This is the most thrilling moment of my life.
She was very funny, very witty.
17, 18, 19, 20. They're all here, lovey.
Good. Then Gilligan can bring out my luggage.
Yeah, it's all right.
Very grand.
Thurston, did you hear that? What a charming thing to say.
She swam naked in her swimming pool till she was 95, 94. She swam naked in her swimming pool. It wasn't open to the public, you understand?
Good heavens.
She hung out with Moss Hart and George Kaufman and all those wonderful theater people in New York. She had an apartment on Park Avenue and a house on Bedford Drive.
What time is it, Mrs. Howell?
It's 4 rubies past the diamond.
Mary Ann's 3-hour tour now continues. And stay tuned for more Gilligan's Island memories from Don Wells right here on MeTV.
I think there's several reasons Gilligan's Island's still around. I think it's escapism. It's 7 misfits trying to get along. And there were no clothes or cars that told you when it was filmed. So some little kid growing up in France thinks it's happening today.
No phone, no light, no motor cars.
It's timeless. No cars, no clothes. Couldn't even get a radio to work very often.
Not a single luxury.
And I think it's Robinson Crusoe. It's everybody's kind of fantasy to be on an island. So I think you covered all bases there.
Like Robinson Crusoe.
It's my philosophy.
It's primitive as can be.
Mary Ann's 3-hour tour will continue. And stay tuned for more Gilligan's Island memories from Don Wells right here on MeTV.
Baker. Most beautiful in the world, Mary Ann.
It's the summer of me on MeTV.
Oh, she's wonderful. Isn't she just fantastic?
And watch me on Gilligan's Island.
Weekday mornings at 8:30, 7:30 Central on MeTV.
The following. Just sit right back and you'll hear a tale of a fateful trip.
Well, and a theme song, I don't know that they'd had them before. I mean, I don't really know prior to that because James Aubrey at CBS said, how are they going to know they're marooned every week? And Sherwood said, well, we'll open with a song. He said, what do you mean?
5 passengers set sail that day for a 3-hour tour.
Well, we have a song that'll tell you. He said, well, bring it in tomorrow. Well, Sherwood doesn't play the piano, doesn't know whatever. He went home and was composing. And he said, I came in the next day and the suits were all there, 25 people sitting around the table. And Sherwood said, with a piano, he said, I started playing, and when you see the sound effects with the crash, he's making all the noises, the sound of the tides and all that kind of stuff. And he said, I finished. Total silence. Mr. Aubrey said, thank you very much. He walked out thinking it'll never happen. And it did. He created it.
A movie star and the rest.
And the rest, Russell and I were cast last, and during the negotiation, Ginger was cast, and she was 5th position billing, meaning after the Howells, and nobody after her. So Russell and I didn't get opening shot credits at all. We were and the rest. And of course, we still send each other love the rest cards back and forth and everything. Bob fought a lot for me, for Bob, for Russ and myself.
The Professor and Mary Ann.
Professor and Mary Ann.
Here on Gilligan.
Here on Gilligan's Island. Sing it to me.
Mary Ann's 3-hour tour will continue. And stay tuned for more Gilligan's Island memories from Don Wells right here on MeTV.
You are
Watching
me? TV.
memorable.
Entertainment. Television. I'm gonna write that down.
My favorite one was the Eliza Doolittle character that I played with a Cockney accent.
Taught me how to walk and to talk and to dress like a regular lady.
I walk and I talk.
He taught me to walk and to talk and to dress like a regular lady.
And now MeTV presents Gilligan's Island, and then there were none.
Mary Ann's 3-hour tour on MeTV.